Ladies, gents, non-binary friends, welcome back to EUCF 2023. It is finally coming to a end, last game of the weekend, and it is the mixed final, and it is a tantalizing mixed final we've got here on the slate for you today. Two undefeated teams, the two best teams so far this weekend, going at it head to head. It's Deep Space against GRUT.
Deep Space looking to be the British team that can take home that gold, but is it going to happen?
But that one is just thrown right back into Deep Space's hands. Khan goes to Armela, and Armela rips it, looking for Ray, being marked up against by Alina Wilhelm. Can Ray get there? She can. Great closing speed now. Itamendi one-on-one in the end zone, going back to the Australian Cook instead. Cook rips it to the sideline, and Deep Space open up with a 1-0 lead into the hands of the natural goal scorer, Alvaro Itamendi. In the week, but has shaken that off. Finds the ever-reliable Jana Jansen, and now the Slovakian Filip Molnar is a little bit behind Kularch. She tries to adjust, but can't stick the catch despite going for it with both hands. Yorworth to Samwell coming up line. Really pumps the backhand. They've got the isolation to Yorworth, and Yorworth's got the break. It's a 2-0 Deep Space lead.
Deep Space mentioned before the game that they just wanted to come out here and play their systems. This for them is like sort of the cherry on the top of a fantastic season, getting the first break of the game and going up 2-0 against the reigning European champions.
Just a little one-on-one in the end zone. Filip Molnar gets free. Blasman delivers the break side throw, and GRUT on the board at 2-1. Of course, GRUT have been here many times before, but you know, it is still a European final, and a lot has been talked about that they're going to play single gender next season and try and give themselves a different challenge. So maybe there is that added little bit of momentum and intensity, knowing that this is going to be kind of their last time in this division for a while. And Wilson, the quick release to Baker. Beyond midfield, Baker's putting it up, looking for Armela, and the big man comes down with it. Clean hold for Deep Space. First clean hold of the game, in fact. It's 3-1. Didn't matter, because it was bang on point, and there is the bang from Blasman, looking for Walt Janssen. How he's got so far wide open at the back of the defense, I've no idea, but for GRUT, that's stealing. They're two players who are both so fun to watch, and to get them matched up on one another is exactly what you want in a European final. Armela sees the inside break from Denniston, and now trying to sit one out towards the break side for Caudron. The continuation cut is just too far for Khan. He laid out, he had to, but a little too much zip on it. Surrenders the disc.
Caudron making an excellent cut, but that was slightly rushed. There wasn't the right amount of sit. She could see her mark coming across, so she had to put it out quite wide, and it just felt a little bit rushed.
Sounds like a contested foul. Two players not able to agree on the outcome. Does stay with Kulan. Coming in on stall 5, signals Baker. Kulan instantly going deep, trying to take advantage to Doonsha, and the layout from behind is Lola Dam. Who else? GRUT earn the break back, and we are level at 3s.
I'm not sure that it was meant for Dam. In fact, I feel like probably it was not. But ultimately, she's the one who gets there. She's the one who secures it, ensuring that her team get that break back.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a trust throw, that one. Doonshan has a look around, and he sees, I don't need to lay out because Lola Dam's there. And I'm sure he was never in any doubt that this was going to be Dam's disc. Trying to find some support in the backfield. Still getting high. He's going to rip it. There's a few targets in the area. Denniston adjusts, and Denniston brings it down.
That one sort of slipped into that far corner with a little pop. Jinking passes. And in the later numbers, sometimes you can really be racing to get to 10.
And that one maybe just telegraphed that they wanted the reset. Dan Epstein poaches off and flashes in front of Caudron, lays out, gets the block. GRUT could take their first lead of the game here. How reliable is the D-line offense? Mawson to Dam. Mawson's going to go up line in front of Itamendi and get it. Mawson's trying to squeeze it in there, A lot of contact. Epstein made the catch in bounds though, and he is right on that front cone. Desperate line trap going on, and tried to squeeze the inside lane. Armola made himself big and slaps it to the floor. Deep Space generally have done a very good job of earning back their turns. Offhand floated over the top. Khan tracks it. Gets the swing out early. Armola's got space to watch it all the way into the bucket. Motions Khan through. Khan down the line to Wilson, and Deep Space edge themselves back in front, but you can tell how tight this game is, Rach.
Yeah, it is a game of centimetres.
It's the two Janssens in the backfield, and now Blasman getting involved. Going with a backhand force here. The shot is the hammer over the top, and that is dropped right in the bucket. Nothing but net on that one to Walt Janssen for fives. Deep Space playing with pace. Illustrating for Baker to go up line, just sitting that one out there. That should be comfortable for Cook. Now they've got the disc on that far side, and it gives them a lot of open side space to work with. Nice backhand break down the line to Cauldron. The timing, the continuation to Cook is so sweet. And Deep Space again getting their noses back in front at 6-5. Knocked up by Squires. And that just bounced out of the hands of Floor Coulards. That is a real rarity. Rowe squeezes it into Yorworth, had such a good season, was so impressive for GB Women at EUC, and Kovshov, what an adjustment. And the timeout taken, sides get 2 to use a half, and Deep Space feel that the time is right for the timeout now. It's the lefty going short to Squires. Janssen's able to come round and use those go-go gadget arms to tip it away and get the block. The classic timeout into turnover can be so difficult to get your offense moving from that standstill. As there's the trust ball from Walt Janssen, looking for Floor Coulards. Well, she couldn't catch the under, but she catches the goal on the end, and that speaks to the trust on this side. Ray to Armola. He's going to take the quick flip to Denniston, who gives it up line. Armola now shooting to Cook, and there's too much quick blade on that one, and it never really got going.
Each of these teams have taken each of their games to 15. They've been the one to get 15 points to close out the game. And it does mean that there's likely some tired legs coming into this, and perhaps some tired throws there.
That one zipped into the ground to Slow. And it's always nice when you can throw it backwards and get the score, but Armola can't quite toe it in. It doesn't matter because he flips to Itamendi, and you can see the relief on his face as they finally punch it in for the goal. They're giving GRUT opportunities, but Deep Space are just about getting it done. Now short to Janssen. Blasman's coming off the back. This one is a steepling shot. 2 players in the area. Who's coming down with it? It's no one. Squires had got the position, and the disc faded over everyone, and that suits Deep Space just fine. They're going to get another chance for a break going into half. Yeah, just didn't quite have that inside-out edge that I think she wanted. Turned too early, and yeah, Rowe tried, but asking too much. Doesn't even surprise you at this point. Janssen back to Blasman, past the bidding Squires, but he cannot hold on this time.
Squires getting the crowd pumped up. He is happy with that play, and he wants to have some recognition.
Yen trying to beckon Rowe towards. Gilboy in that narrow space up line gets it just in front of the contact of Molnar. Back, and it's an awkward angle, and Thacker trying to adjust mid-flight.
Hard to get all the way around.
The one-handed grab from Coulards. Coulards wants the air underneath it, looking for Janne Janssen. Yen rips it away. Now Rowe, how many chances do Deep Space want? You can tell the intensity, as if it was even possible, has racked up a notch or two. Beautiful pass, beautiful cut down the line to Squires. Can Rowe get free in that phone booth? Not quite. Squires still, it's the blade down the line to Rowe, and Deep Space will break into half. It's 8-6 to the underdogs. Janssen, 1 yard away from pay dirt. Can't find the forcing throw though. Generally been very steeled red zone D from deep space, and that time low, too low for Coulards. So this deep space D line continues to churn downfield. Minard commits to the bid, but she doesn't get there. Hill can't take advantage until the blade over the top, looking for Squires. Oh, that is inspired. It's 9-6 to deep space.
Getting a break to take half and getting a break coming out of half. Deep space just finding that extra gear. They seem to click.
And now Dam a few yards away from getting the first GRUT score of the second half. Floated over the top of everyone. And Nick Moss is lurking at the back of the end zone. He's pretty happy with that because I know that he's one of your teammates.
Yeah, Jolly Rogers, player, national beach gold as well as mixed grass gold, but that's gonna be a turnover. That's not the one.
No, just a little bit underthrown. Mawson would have been desperate for the Callahan to get the huge energizer, but he'll certainly settle for the block. They isolate Dam at the front of the end zone, and Deep Space do a good job of not letting that go at the first time. But Molnar using the 360 degrees to his advantage, going backwards to create the angle for the around break to lower Dam. It's a 3-point run, halted there by GRUT. Dunsham will check in. Cook raking the around break around to who else but Itamendi. It's third goal of the game for Deep Space. 10-7 the scoreline. Giving themselves more space in the open side channels. Reacher there for Minard, which she makes. Blassman close to the end zone, and that was the clean hold that Deep Space did not want and that GRUT desperately desired. 8-10. Denniston, I think had stopped because he didn't think the throw was coming, didn't like the angle of the cut, but Cook had already released. And there's the break opportunity for GRUT. The peel passed between Cook and Wilson, who now matches up on Molnar. There's the around going Blady. Oh, Armola had read that one like a book. Was waiting for it, greedily gobbling it up. Deep space offense trying to get set up with the stall count rising. Cook with the zippy flat one through the center of the field. That's always dangerous.
Quite a high, well, it has to come in on 6, right? So it can't come in higher than that.
Correct.
But I think that would have been a higher stall count throw.
And well, went straight back to the same play. This time not quite in the end zone, but it doesn't matter because Kulan finishes it off anyway. And GRUT, that is a break. They're only within 1 now, 10-9. So making a couple of personnel changes. Some of those enforced because the gender ratio has changed. But that is not what they would have wanted. Yorworth crossing over, but the disc weasels its way through our grasp. GRUT could break to bring us level and back on serve. What does Blassman have up those colourful sleeves? It's just a little inside to Epstein, who continues the break side flow. GRUT break, it's 3 in a row for the Dutch, and we are now level at 10s. Denniston trying to find it just past the bit of Kulan. And I mean just. Denniston has the end zone shot. Itamendi with the fancy footwork to get Deep Space back on the board. They were put under such pressure by GRUT, but this time they held firm, a vital hold. 11-10. And now Yana to Kalatz, less than 5 yards away. Hammer over the top. Oh, it's so cluttered and so congested, but sleight of hand of which David Blaine would be proud as Walt Janssen snatches it down, and it's 11s.
I can't believe that. He looks at his hand in total shock. Yeah, we might need to have to check Janssen's hand for some like glue or something. What is this?
Fire's so poached on this near side. I mean, so poached. Cordron has to lay out and doesn't get there. Armola just never turned around to find her. GRUT with a disc to take their first lead of the game. It's going to be Molnar to pick up. doesn't want the around. Doesn't see the inside either. Now the stall's rising, so just some air underneath it. A stall out has been called on the throw. Always a good sign of great team defense. They're not exciting, they're not sexy stall outs, but it shows exactly what you want to do as a team. You locked it down and there was no other option. Cook picks it up and he jacks it to Armola. Armola motors to the end zone for the deep space hold. Yeah, and it's just really good recognition from Cook and Armola there, thinking that we can do the one-on-one. We back ourselves in this matchup, and those long strides just eats up the Olympic Stadium turf in front of Armola. Just a solitary minute before the cap comes on. If GRUT hold, it's 12-all, game to 13 Universe. If Deep Space can get a break, they give themselves a little bit of breathing room. Up 13-11, game to 14. Now Janne Jansen has Blasman, grips it with the right hand. Blasman looking for the deep shot again. It's going to go over the head of Yorworth. Can Collard kick it? She can, just after the tutor. We think that's 12s. Well, it's definitely 12s. We just need a double check the timing to make sure that it's game to 13, but it is so close to that hooter. I mean, what a throw from Blasman. A frozen rope right over the head of Yorworth. The players from both sides are going over just to clarify the situation with the score cap, whether it went on before or after that beautiful throw from Blasman to Coularts. 12-12. This is it. This is all the marbles. EUCF 2023, last game of a bumper weekend. Seeing the GRUT huddle here from the Eurodisc Best Perspective roaming camera. It is 12-12. It is game to 13. It is Universe Point. There is no more fitting way to end a weekend, especially for one of these teams, if they can come out on top. The intensity, the atmosphere in the stadium is jumping and pumping. What have these teams got left? Benji Rees and Rachel Douglas in the booth. On the field for the D-line of GRUT, Blasman, Dam, Coularts, Epstein, Dunshern, Janssen, Slog. For the deep space O-line, Cordron, Denniston, Cook, Armola, Itamendi, Wilson, Yorworth. The fate of the game rests in the hands of those 14 players. First pass to Cordron. He's fizzing, zipping around out here. Can barely contain myself. Can't imagine how it feels to those players. Itamendi on a high stall, ripping it, looking for Denniston. Janssen's in behind. Janssen rips it from just in front of Denniston's arms. Inches away from the victory deep space now. GRUT have it for the win. They have not led all game. Can they do so now? What a final. GRUT to Blasman. How's your nerves? Janssen doesn't seem to have any as he's airing it out, looking for Dunshern. Itamendi surrenders position, but Itamendi gets up above Dunshern to rip it back. Both sides with turns now. Cordron to Yorworth. Yorworth, Cordron clears through. She feathers it around to Armola. Everyone set very deep for deep space. The throw down the line, Yorworth lays out. Janssen's calling it out. The question will be whether her hand landed first on the line. And Janssen quickly retracts his call amongst some light-hearted booing from the crowd. Quickly advised by his teammates that no, Yorworth's attempt was good. Yorworth continuing down the line to Cook. Cook has it. Cook rips it. He's going for the back corner. Can Armola bring it down? Deep space, win Euros. 13-12. Unreal. And how fitting for deep space to do it on Universe Point as well. What a game. What a final. What a team. Deep space are your mixed division European champions.
It is all coming up, Deep Space. It was their first time winning UK Nationals. It was their first time getting into a European final, and now it is their first time taking gold at the European level, beating the champions, and such a formidable side. GRUT putting up a monumental fight right to the very end.
I mean, you saw that there. Janssen peeling off the back, ripping it from above Denniston. But what a block this is from Itamendi, climbing the ladder to get above the Austrian Dunshan. Down the line, Yorworth with the toe drag, secures it. Was a little bit of questioning, but quickly ill-advised and dissuaded away, and then just the trust bomb to the back corner. That is pinpoint precision. So pedantic, the accuracy on the throw from Elliot Cook, and Armola gives Deep Space their third European crown, their first European crown. GRUT looking for the three-peat are denied, and what could be their swan song in the mixed division. I can barely think right now. My brain's practically melting out of my ears. It's only the headphones that are keeping everything locked up inside out there. How good must that feel?
Unbelievable, and it's so fitting that it's Armola with the catch for the win. He has brought so much to this Deep Space side. They're a team of such talent and such depth, but he has been a real linchpin in their offense, and we saw that throughout the game. Axel Armola securing gold for his team and making sure that Deep Space didn't have to have any more nerves in this game. They've managed to stay ahead throughout. They managed to, where they seemed like GRUT were getting back into it, Deep Space just kept their cool, kept their calm, and to secure it like that, wow. I mean, that was just such a phenomenal game.
The throw was absolute nails, but such was the confidence of Axel Armola. He even had time to just maybe showboat ever so slightly and drink in the moment, and he's with us in the commentary booth now. What were the nerves like coming out to receive that Universe point?
Honestly, I didn't know it was Universe. They called a timeout. We just got told it's another O point, and the leadership's been keeping us calm all tournament, and yeah, so it was just another one. Been doing it every single Monday night. Play a tournament, 2 days, third day you go out, 2-hour game. That's what it is here, 2 days. Another 2-hour game.
From all of us here at ULTI.TV, final score here in the mixed final is Deep Space 13, GRUT 12. Deep Space are European Mixed Division champions, and we will see you on the other side for European Masters.